Hi YouTube! In honor of Juneteenth, this is video number 19 of my 30-day post to YouTube challenge.
I worked on jobs.
On January 3rd, 1989, the Arsenio Hall show premiered. Arsenio became the first African American to host his own late-night talk show. The original series premiered on January 3rd, 1989 and ran until May 27, 1994. On January 3, 1987, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, made history by becoming the first woman to ever be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. On January 4, 1969, the Congressional Black Caucus was founded. The group was known initially as the Democratic Select Committee. In February 1971, the name was formally changed to the Congressional Black Caucus following a motion by Representative Charles B. Rangel of New York. The caucus is focused on the concerns of African Americans. Its priority is the human and civil rights of all underrepresented people. One of the key domestic issues that the caucus remains involved with is the issue of voting rights. Another important accomplishment of the caucus has been the establishment of a national holiday to honor slain civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The caucus led the movement to bring about the King holiday by participating in demonstrations and sponsoring legislation in support of the King holiday. Today, the Congressional Black Caucus continues to be a legislative voice for African Americans and other underrepresented people. On January 5, 1943, America lost one of its most impactful scientific contributors, George Washington Carver. Because there's no record of an exact date of birth for Carver, his life and his many accomplishments are celebrated the day he died, January 5th. Carver was born into slavery in Missouri during the Civil War era around 1864. After slavery was abolished, he pursued education and displayed a keen interest in plants and agriculture. He became the first African American to earn a Bachelor of Science degree. He accepted an invitation from Booker T. Washington to join the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, where he spent most of his career teaching and conducting research to improve agricultural practices, especially in the South. One of his major contributions was promoting crop rotation and diversification. He developed over 300 products from peanuts, including peanut butter. He invented new uses for sweet potatoes and soybeans. Washington was an American agricultural scientist and the most prominent black scientist of the early 20th century. John Singleton, born January 6, 1968 in Los Angeles. He attended the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts, where he studied film. In 1991, he made history with his debut film, Boys in the Hood, which he wrote and directed. The film, considered a cult classic, earned him Academy Award nominations for Best Director and Best Original Screenplay, making him the youngest person and the first African American to be nominated for Best Director. He also produced and directed Poetic Justice, Higher Learning, Rosewood, Shaft, Baby Boy, and Four Brothers. He also ventured into television with projects like Snowfall. John's work often centered on the African American experience, addressing social issues and providing a platform for underrepresented voices in the film industry. John Singleton passed away on April 29, 2019, at the age of 51 after suffering a stroke. Countee Cullen was an African-American poet, novelist, and playwright associated with the Harlem Renaissance, a cultural and artistic movement that emerged in the early 20th century among African-American writers, artists, and musicians in Harlem, New York. Born May 30, 1903, Cullen gained recognition for his poetry that often explored themes of race, identity, and African-American culture. One of his notable works is the poetry collection titled Color, which received critical acclaim. Cullen's poetry is known for its formal elegance and classical influences, and he often used traditional poetic forms. In addition to his poetry, he wrote essays, plays, and a novel titled One Way to Heaven. Cullen's literary contributions were significant in shaping the Harlem Renaissance, and his work continues to be studied and appreciated for its artistic and historical significance. Countee Cullen died January 9, 1946, at the young age of 42.
I have have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
John H. Johnson, born January 19, 1918, was an African-American businessman and publisher. In 1942, at the age of 24, he founded Johnson Publishing Company. The company published Ebony Magazine in 1945 and Jet Magazine in 1951. He was among the most influential African-American businesses in media in the second half of the 20th century. In 1982, he became the first African-American to appear on the Forbes 400 list. In 1996, Bill Clinton awarded him with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Johnson is widely regarded as the most influential African-American publisher in American history. His contributions to media and his commitment to showcasing positive aspects of African-American life left a historical mark on journalism and cultural representation. John Johnson passed away on August 8, 2005, at the age of 87. Carter G. Woodson was an African-American historian, author, and journalist, often referred to as the father of Black history. He played a crucial role in promoting the study and recognition of African-American history in the United States. Woodson is the only person whose parents were enslaved in the United States to obtain a PhD in history, and in 1912 became the second African-American to earn a PhD from Harvard University. Woodson devoted his life to studying and publicizing the history and accomplishments of Blacks in America. In 1926, he initiated the celebration of Negro History Week during the second week of February, choosing that time to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. This celebration later evolved into Black History Month. Woodson wrote numerous books and articles on African American history, challenging prevailing stereotypes and highlighting the achievements of Black individuals throughout history. His most famous work is The Miseducation of the Negro, where he critiqued the American educational system for neglecting the history and contributions of African Americans. Woodson's efforts significantly contributed to the establishment of African American history as a legitimate and important field of study. His legacy continues to be honored throughout Black History Month, which has become an annual observance in the United States and other countries.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia.
just like the river. I've been running ever since. He said it's been a long time coming, but I know my change is gonna come.